Jimmy says that's what we're supposed to
There's
do.
always a little delay and action.
You know it's different every time, right?
And action.
And action.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, welcome in.
Jimmy, they handle that in post edit, all right? They handle it.
We need to.
None of this is live. Don't worry.
The budget. We need to get our budget to where it needs to be before we get involved in the post editing. But hey, first official NBA Finals Garden Report edition. How's that sound,
kid?
Ooh, I love it. How's
that sound, dude?
What's up, kid?
I seen this coming from a mind. I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I called it back in February, kid.
Yeah. Look at this text I sent my cousin back in November. Yeah. I said they're gonna turn it around, kid.
Yeah. So we're live. We're just gonna hang a little. We know it's an off night, and we know, hey, what? These guys are live? Yeah.
We are live
but we're just hang out. We'll talk a little bit of finals. Sherrod may or may not join. His marriage might depend on him not joining. So
right. That sounds a lot worse than it is.
It sounds a lot worse than it is.
Happy anniversary to Sherrod.
Happy anniversary to Sherrod and his wife, of course. That's more why. Honey, can I go do a garden report?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I was like, I know Sherrod's on the road a lot, but I don't know if he's in the doghouse.
Yeah. I don't know. No, he's not. Yeah. Here's your pillow, and you can go downstairs to the couch and do a garden report. You can do all the garden reports you want, Sherrod.
Sure. In fact, you have all the time in the world to do the garden reports now.
So that means, is this a yes? Does this count as a yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, don't do it.
Anyway, so we're just mainly going to talk about Kanye West, Jaylen Brown, things that matter.
Big duo now. I don't know if
things
people
like
have
that.
heard. People might not know what you mean by that, John.
Yeah. Everyone, like I said, it's a slow trickle crowd. If you guys want to tell your friends about it, put it in Discord, tell the community as people kind of bleed in. But we're going to get into a little bit. We did a Twitter Spaces earlier today and just kind of started breaking down some of the stuff. Yeah. And Jimmy, just to catch you up.
I missed that. Yeah. What did I miss?
Just to catch you up.
I want to hear Jimmy's take on it.
It was good convo, I thought, for the most part. We started with Rob, only because it's really hard to kind of figure out what they're going to do in this series until you figure out, how available is going to be Rob. Is going to be Rob. I just Google Translate English. Is going to be Rob.
Yeah.
Sports. How available he's going to be throughout the series? Is he going to be the same guy? Is he going to be the guy we saw games 4 through 6, or is he going to be game 7 Rob? Who was useless and borderline unplayable. We don't know. But, at the press conference today, Ime Udoka once again said, yep, day-to-day forever, and so we're kind of left guessing, what's going to happen there. So I don't know your vibe here and how critical you think it is, but I think all three of us, myself, Josue, and Bobby, kind of really feel like he's a real key to the series. And it's hard to guess. No, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's hard to guess which way things are going to go without knowing what version of Rob Williams you get and how often you get him.
I think you're going to get a slightly more effective version. And I think a lot of that has to do with you get a little bit more rest in between games here, right? And if you're going to be 50-50 or day to day, that extra day that you get off to rest, that's huge. I mean, that could be the difference between 60% Rob and 85% Rob, which is night and day. I mean, we've seen when he is a little spry and a little bit more effective looking like the old Rob, we see how he affects the game. I mean, just quarter to quarter, you can see it. I mean, just go back to game 6, third quarter. He looked fine then. I mean, I know we didn't see him in the fourth quarter. I don't want to get into that again. That was a disaster. But if you're getting that extra day off or even an extra 2 days off, depending on how the schedule works out, that's huge. So I'm going in I'm cautiously optimistic about Rob and his effect. The Warriors are definitely game planning for him. I mean, Draymond Green was quick to shout Rob out today. He called him. I think he called half the team the defensive anchor on the team, but Rob being one of them, he said Rob was kind of like their anchor back there. Then he mentioned Horford and, of course, Smart. But there's certainly game planning for a healthy enough Rob to be effective, and I imagine that the Celtics are going to be expecting Rob to be all in. It's all hands on deck, man. I mean, you got to leave it all out there. This isn't going to be out with a knee pain. I hope to God this isn't out with a knee soreness type Rob that we're getting.
I'm leaving you guys for a minute. You guys talk.
Okay, good. You know what?
I'll be right back.
You don't have to come back. It's totally fine. We don't really need you anyway.
Damn, John. 5 minutes in. Wow.
5 minutes in.
Wow.
He didn't like my answer, Josue. I mean,
Yeah.
how was that? How was my point compared to, I guess, what you guys were talking about on Spaces today? I mean, is anyone kind of riding with me on that, or are people just more like, you know, what Rob's, anything you get from Rob is a bonus? I don't think it's that. I think he's got to be more involved than he's just gravy.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Well, my thing was if he can help you win 2 games, like if he has 2 Rob-like performances, and what I mean by that is double, you know, defending the paint, playing nowhere, you know, anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes, then that can be the series for you. Like you can win a series that way if he's able to give you at least two solid outings, and I think that's very realistic. If you everything that you just said to me, when you think about the extra days off, when you think about you know, these days leading into the NBA Finals, I mean, yeah, that sounds great because he hasn't had that type of rest in a long time. So I think that bodes well for him to come out and at least give you a good outing in one of those games out there in San Francisco, whether it's game 1 or 2. And at this point, if you're the Celtics, you have to take it one day at a time. Literally, I mean, he's day to day, and you want to just try to steal one. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying go out there and just, you know, give them game 1 or whatever, but my thing is, or at least for the way I see the Celtics doing this, they gotta steal one of these 2, and I think Rob's gonna have a big part of that. I really do. I'm not quite sure which game though.
And the thing about the Warriors is that they're so active off the ball, right? I mean, and to have Rob out there and be able to let the Warriors run around like crazy animals, and the Celtics can just switch. That's huge for them, and that's one advantage that I think that makes it really difficult for the Warriors. I'm not saying that they can't shoot the lights out anyways, but of course the Celtics are going to be able to counter a lot of that off-ball movement, and Rob's a huge part of that. Also, the Warriors aren't a big team, right? So I mean, you got to Rob's going to be playing higher than everybody else really out there, if assuming he can, you know, get that bounce. You know, we've seen bouncy Rob on occasion in these playoffs. It's not like he is a shell of his former self. So I have high expectations, and I do think. Okay, what do we got here? Rob is sincerely injured, not like Smart. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not saying Smart faked his ankle snapping or bending at 90-degree angle. If you want to talk about Tatum's shoulder, that's one thing. But Smart's ankle, I'm not going to say.
Or Grant's shoulder.
Or Grant's shoulder, yeah.
Yeah.
But
every time he didn't get a call.
I don't think Smart's faking injuries out there.
I don't think Smart needs to fake injuries.
I think Smart.
He has real ones.
Yeah. I think Smart goes down hard a lot, and we always fear the worst, and he does bounce back quite a bit, but we all saw what his ankle did. Human ankles don't do that. That wasn't great. So yeah, no, but Rob is a mess. The problem is
he's a mess. I don't think he's a mess. I just think
Rob's not a mess only game to game. Rob's not a mess. Rob is a wild card minute to minute. He'll start a game looking good, and then all of a sudden he goes up for a huge block, and then one other trip down the court, and he's like laboring, and you're like, oh God, he's limping, he's done. And that's it. He's at a couple games just end where it's like, Rob can't move anymore, you know? No. And that's when he was playing well early, and then he had game 7 where he was legit unplayable. I've seen this. This is a comment somebody put out there. They'll never do this. Nobody does this kind of stuff. This is all fan stuff that we just dream up and we think it's a good idea. But
resting him?
Is it a good idea? Because of the 3-day rest here, you blew it. The game 6 thing kills me for this reason, because you could have had a good bit more rest. But because there's 3 days off between games 1 and 2, you can buy 3 more days of rest here. If you thought it would make a difference, that's fine. The problem is he might be dealing with like a 4 to 6 week injury with the bone bruise where it's never going to feel right.
Where it's like the difference between 3 days and 6 days.
It might not matter.
The rest.
Yeah. It might not matter.
To what? Yeah. I think we're probably not there. I think we can also agree that if it's the regular season, he's not playing for a couple of weeks, probably at minimum in a row, because he's just wants to make sure he gets all the way back. They don't have that time to afford. They're not afforded that time right now. So I think he plays game 1. Now, that doesn't mean that I think he's going to play 35, 40 minutes. You could get 25 minutes out of him. But if they're effective, then like what Josue said, if he can contribute and steal a win out there in California, that's massive. And I think that, again, going back to what I said, he just allows them to do so much on that defensive end. And maybe you just say, hey, you know what, Rob? We need you defensively, man. Like, we're not expecting you to, pound the paint on the offensive end. We need you to grab defensive rebounds. We need you to switch. We need you to affect shots with your shot blocking. Even if you don't get a hand on the ball, like he just gets in the way. He makes it difficult for these guys to shoot. And how many times do we see Rob close out on a corner three and block those shots? You can't tell me that the Celtics aren't going to need Rob's presence out there to get a hand up and maybe just slightly affect these 3-point shots that the Warriors are going to be taking. I don't have to explain to everybody watching how the Warriors like to score. And how
plus the matchup works perfectly because Rob can just sag so far off Draymond and just patrol and just wait and patrol and do whatever and which is great. And honestly, he never has to close out. Like Draymond catches it and he's wide open, fine, take it. Yeah, wide open threes, he's going to shoot 32%. It doesn't matter, so it that's definitely something that's going to matter.
Totally.
What goes on with Rob. And then after that though, it's like, let's just assume you get some version of Rob. How do you like the rest of the matchups? And again, we don't have to go person by person, but I know there's a vibe that like Golden State, oh my God, they're so good. And, and this, again, something we talked about on Spaces a little bit. I'm not certain. Like, I know they're good. They're not unbeatable good. They're not your dad's Golden State team, and just means even the one from 3-4 years ago.
How was your dad?
Your older brothers, man. Your older brothers.
Your older brother.
It's a saying.
It is your saying. No, John, I mean, you say that, but let me say this. Jordan Poole kind of came out of nowhere, and now he is a huge factor on this team that wasn't on your older brother's Golden State. They didn't have that. Klay Thompson.
Is he Kevin Durant, Jimmy? Is he Kevin Durant? No.
Not yet. Not yet. He's not. Okay. No.
Okay, Mr. Celtic.
Is he Kevin Durant?
Yeah, right.
No, but listen, they've got Klay Thompson
He's
back.
Not even Harrison Barnes.
They got Wiggy Wiggs.
That was going to be my next point. Andrew Wiggins. I almost said Jermaine Wiggins. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I almost said Jermaine Wiggins.
I thought you were about to. Yeah.
They don't have Jermaine Wiggins. Unfortunately, if they did, the Celtics would be.
Who was with me in the locker? I think it was you, Jimmy, because we used to go into the visitors' locker rooms a bit and kind of troll those guys and see if we could get some good sound bites. I remember one time they played Minnesota, and I was just watching Wiggins after the game, after the post game, and just looked like a non-serious person. I turned and I said to somebody, I was like, that guy's never going to get it. Just his affect. He just didn't strike me as a serious person. Yeah. I was like, just watching him be, and I was like, and whatever game he'd played that day, it wasn't, he was nothing,
I think those
looked
guys
like he barely showed up for it. And then afterwards I was like, this guy's going to be a loser forever. And he turned it around.
He did. But I mean, I think you were not in the minority by thinking that because of the hype coming in on this guy and the slow start to his career. I think he is a prime example of you are a product of your environment. You come into an organization that maybe doesn't have it quite together, and maybe you're not all there. Maturity level's not all there coming in the league. You need to have the right guys around you. You need to have the right structure around you to really take it to the next level in the NBA. And he got that in Golden State. He doesn't have to look around too long to see professionalism, right? From top to bottom, whether it's Steph, whether it's Draymond, whether it's, the coaching staff there, any of those players or coaches can show you exactly what it takes to be a winner, can tell you how important it is to do this, this, and this if you want to be successful, and not just in basketball, but in life. And I think that that's really been huge for him. And you're seeing it on the court. And he's an unbelievable two-way player now. He's going to be a very difficult assignment. He's going to make things annoying for, somebody like Jaylen Brown. He's another guy who can switch, right? Cover multiple players. So he's a bit of an X factor in the series for sure. What they're probably saying, what Andrew Wiggins are you going to get in this series, right? I mean, the Warriors can ask a lot of the same questions that Celtics fans can ask. So,
well, I wonder how much of his defense is going to play a big part in this, because I'm gonna go out and say that he's probably going to guard a lot of Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown, in terms of his which player is going to show up, the one who's going to turn the ball over a lot, or the
you don't think that's going to be Klay?
Basketball, just efficient basketball. I mean, yeah, I was thinking that too. It could be Klay, but
it's going to be switching, man.
When they switch up, it's gonna most of the time they're gonna want Wiggins. They're gonna like that matchup if you're the Golden State Warriors. He can stay in front of Jaylen. he has that power, and I feel like he's built up this new confidence in that role. He's taken on that role. It took a while for him to get comfortable with it, but now that Clay's been back for a while, for months now, and the way the rotation is round out, he's carved out a nice role there in defending the opposing wing player. So I think that's going to play a part as well. But man, I'm just looking for Jaylen to have a big series. I don't know if this Kanye thing is part of it, or if this is going to be like the time. I guess the timing of all this is a little bit. Is this your sort of like?
Is there anything else on that?
Is this like a coming out party? Is this like your way of being like, hey, this is like my brand? I'm gonna.
This is who I am.
Yeah, like this is my stamp for the NBA Finals. And look, I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm not saying like he's trying to steal the spotlight and shine it on himself, but I do think he's trying to promote himself a bit, which rightfully so. Look, Jaylen's had a good season. He's had a really good season, matter of fact. So if that helps him unlock another level offensively, then so be it. I'm here for that. So
I want to know. I want to know a little bit more about. I mean, I read the TMZ article, and it was kind of
he's the first NBA player, so I think that's why it's in big news. He's the first NBA.
No, I get it for sure. I mean,
what is it about Kanye that drew Jaylen to him and this brand?
What did he sign? I know he signed with Donda. So what? So like Kanye West is
we know Jaylen doesn't have
in his next contract negotiations, or like what? He's just gonna be like he's gonna wear Kanye West gear. Like I need to know a little bit more about it. But yeah, from the publicity side of things, it is interesting timing. I don't know enough about the agreement to really comment other than the fact that it's kind of silly, it's kind of funny, I guess. And like, I mean, Kanye West. Listen, I'm a huge Kanye West fan from his first few albums. I hope the guy can like figure out everything else going on in his life.
What kind of music does he sing?
Rap, John, hip hop. I'm not sure if you've
John.
Never heard of it before.
You like those first couple of few albums.
Sure. Who doesn't? But anyway, I don't get Kanye's brand.
Don't act like you're too cool. You're too cool for Kanye. Come on.
Kanye's an interesting guy to like put your name behind right now. It's definitely.
Gotcha.
I think there's got to be some risk involved in sort of hitching your wagon, if you will, to a Kanye.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an eye-opening move. Jaylen can't say with a straight face that it's not gonna. People aren't gonna. It's not gonna make news. I'm sure he knows that. So, again, the timing of this whole thing. A lot of stuff is fake. I don't know if you guys know that, but Jaylen's been. He doesn't sign with agents. Like this is his first. I'm not mistaken. Right?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is it agency thing? Is it more of a he's gonna represent him on like the entertainment side? So like, is this gonna allow Jaylen Brown to be involved in more avenues that are going to get his, clothing brand or his name out there? You know what I mean? Like what's the purpose behind it? And that's what I think maybe we'll learn maybe as it goes along, but whatever. I don't want to spend all the time talking about that freaking thing anyways.
No, well, the reason I bring it up is just, it's interesting, right? It's like, this is technically day one of the finals, right? Or at least right before media day.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
this is happening.
The news.
I don't know how this. I'll put it this way. This could
John,
be
you had an interesting text. I don't want to go down this road, but I want you to elaborate on your text. About,
I don't know. I'll
know what I'm talking about.
I'll put it in the nicest way possible. This could be the biggest non-story in the history of all time, or it could go really badly in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
So. I don't know.
They start. You're afraid they're gonna hang out, huh? You're afraid they're gonna.
I just don't know what you want to do. I don't know what it is about Kanye that draws a person to him at this stage in Kanye's existence on this orb.
Yeah.
Like
he's in a tough spot in his life right now.
Whatever's going on there. I don't know what you do by looking at it and be like, that's the guy I want to hitch my wagon to. I find that a little odd, but like I said, more realistically, it's the biggest nothing story out there. Possibly, it's the end of Jaylen Brown as we know him. I don't know.
Very different things.
It's two different things.
If that isn't John Zanis take in a nutshell, then I don't know what is.
Well, what I will declare on a text thread is 100% fact. I don't really believe is 100% fact. What I'm saying is, okay, cool, I guess, if that's what you want to do.
I read the article. I mean, it's TMZ, so I mean, take it with a grain of salt. They said We're told Ye thinks Brown is underappreciated and wants to bring him to superhero status during his career and long after his playing days. So again, what does that all mean? I guess we'll find out. I mean, is Jaylen Brown going to start? Is Jaylen Brown going to come up with an album and all this stuff? Whatever. We'll figure it out. All I know is for the next couple of weeks, he's a basketball player.
All I know is it will matter zero in the NBA Finals.
Right.
So it really isn't a huge concern. It's just interesting, and it's kind of light right now.
It's an off night topic for sure.
It's an off night, and I think you guys actually are okay. Thankfully, I don't have a bunch of people in the chat like, shut up, talk basketball. I think people don't mind the Jaylen Kanye conversation.
No, this is an off night topic. You got to be able to mix it up a little bit. Sure.
I mean, they got things in common. I mean, his clothing line. Kanye's big into fashion, so there's a start. So
clothing line, bro.
Again, come on. We don't know the whole thing exactly,
come on, bro.
Exactly.
CLNS Media is gonna have a clothing line soon.
We are. I'm working on it.
It's nothing basketball related, so it's one of those things where let's just see how this plays out. I don't know.
We're working on it.
We'll see how it plays out. We will see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a little dubious, but again, I don't want to be that guy. Because I'm too often that guy. So
if he signed,
I don't want to be that guy, but I am that guy.
Jay,
yeah.
If it was Rock
people are literally like, I don't want to be John Zanis, but.
Sorry, Josue.
No, I was gonna say if it was Rock Sports, if it was with Jay-Z, who Kevin Durant signed with a few years ago, and the whole picture for them was to help manage your money and how to take care of it. That's the way it was painted by Jay-Z obviously got up front and told everyone what they're doing. Kanye hasn't, so I don't exactly. I can't. I wish I could tell you guys, what the blueprint is, so to speak. Here, pun intended there.
But by the way,
it's not,
we're talking about.
He's not as transparent as Jay-Z.
Look at us, by the way, guys, talking about Jaylen. Look what we're doing.
Yeah,
Jaylen.
Right?
We never talked Jaylen.
Jaylen technically was a college dropout.
Preview show.
Like Kanye, get that?
So is everybody.
There
It's a Kanye at West album, John. Okay.
Jaylen went to my parents' alma mater, so I've got I've always have a little rooting interest from everybody coming out of Berkeley.
Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah. I was born in Berkeley, so I always have a little rooting interest for the Golden Bears. But anyway, that's the stuff going on there.
You and G-Dub.
That's the stuff going on with Jaylen. Does it matter? No. But on the topic of Jaylen, what I will say is, does it matter for the finals? No. 2 years from now. But
right.
Maybe sooner.
When he wants to sign a contract as a superhero, we'll see. Kanye West at the negotiating table with Wick.
Exactly.
I want to see Kanye and Wick have dinner together.
Jaylen's had the most interesting playoffs because actually statistically, if you look at him, he's been very efficient despite the turnovers, and he's probably been the most consistent Celtic throughout the playoffs for the most part, where you've had Tatum, Smart, Rob, even Al recently, otherwise maybe Al's that guy. He's been pretty consistent throughout. What's it going to take to get the best version of Tatum of Brown only? Because this feels like a series he could go off. To me, it really does. I think he can find matchups. I think he can. There's nobody there to stop him in the paint. Okay, so there's just nothing really necessary. There's no paint presence for the Warriors. I think if he can get his matchups and he can get downhill, he can cause a lot of troubles. And just the fact that even still, like his pull-up game, his mid-range game, his ISO game right now is contested, contested shots. He's really making them at a pretty good clip. If you just cut the friggin' turnovers out right now, and I know that's kind of part and parcel with what he does, but like there's a world in which Jaylen Brown dominates this series. I really think he's a super key player here. I know they're going to key heavy on Tatum, but I think Brown's going to have a lot of opportunity to do damage.
I agree, John. I think in transition, it's got to be key. I mean, when the Celtics, whether it's a miss, whether it's off a steal, as soon as they get the ball, they need to look for Jaylen right away in the open space because that's what he was doing. When he in games when he was really cooking, that's how he gets going. That's how he gets himself going. Half court set, obviously he can find his shots there, pick his spots, pull up. That's going to be what Jaylen has to get, has to zero in on, because if he starts to try to force the issue a bit, or just try to attack in half-court sets and go into double teams, that's when he gets the ball stripped from him. That's when the turnovers start to stack up, and then that's when the Warriors will go on an 8-0 run in a minute and a half. Like it's happens quickly. Like the way the Miami Heat did it, they would do it in a couple of minutes. The Warriors can do it even faster, I believe. So,
yeah.
Jalen's got to be careful with that, but the Celtics have to look for him because he tends to do that when if he's not getting the ball as much sometimes, if he's not in open space and he feels like guys aren't looking for him, he can try to take things.
I'm gonna go be himself. A superhero over there by myself.
Exactly. Yeah, Kyrie's gonna be like, you got 6 points. You got 6 points. Come on, Jaylen.
Right.
But no, you don't want him to feel like he has to. Okay, I got to start to take over now. Especially when the Celtics are down.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah,
he feels left out, and then he's like, I'm just gonna take this ball, and right. It's just gotta flow naturally, and I do think,
he's got to get as many touches as Tatum. Honestly,
they don't have to play perfect. They just have to not play like idiots. Like they're really gonna kill themselves if they go out there and they're kind of sloppy, half and half, my ball, your ball. But
right.
I don't know. I had a vision of Jaylen like dominating in this series, and I can't get it out of my head.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Are we concerned about the inexperience factor?
That's also something we discussed.
Oh man.
Okay. Well,
so here's my take, and then curious everyone else's, but we sit here and we hear all of this time about how the Celtics, 4 conference finals for Jaylen, 3 for Brown. They're battle tested. Every stat muse basically exists right now. That Twitter handle just to put out how Jason Tatum's playoff accomplishments at the age of 25. Like that's all people are. He's the youngest yada yada to have this many games and this many points and blah blah blah. So that means he's battle tested. Jaylen Brown is battle tested. They're now they since day one. Of basically, I know for Jaylen it was really year 2, but they just go to conference finals. It's just what they do. They play meaningful games. They play game 7s. I don't give a crap that the Warriors have played titles. The Celtics have played enough meaningful games where I am not buying the experience thing. This is no different than anything that they've already gone through a million times before. It's just one round later. It's the playoffs. You just played Durant, Giannis, and the number 1 seed in the East, and you had 2 game 7s out of the deal. Like, don't tell me you haven't been battle tested. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, especially when you look at the core of this team, Jimmy. I mean, from Al Horford, someone no one's played more playoff games than Al on this team, and a lot of those games, obviously he never got to the NBA Finals, so just the experience that comes with that. And then you go down the line, whether it's Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, how many Eastern Conference Finals have they been to? How many times have they had to be one of the top guys? A couple of years ago, going up against the Miami Heat in the bubble, being that close to the NBA Finals, I think all of that is relevant, especially when you look at what's happened in the last couple of months. You were 2 games away, or you were one win away to put away the Bucks. You made it difficult, and then you did it all over again against the Miami Heat. 2 very different teams, 2 very different opponents in the sense of one had someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo, another one has someone like Jimmy Butler. But again, these guys had to pull themselves together and respond, with their backs against the wall. So I think all that is relevant. They don't have the championship ring, they don't have the hardware to prove it, but I think they've been through enough that they can take on a team like the Golden State Warriors. And even if they fall short, you won't say, oh man, well, if they were a little experienced, a bit more experienced, they could have won that. I don't know if that's going to be something that we'll be saying if they were to fall against the Warriors.
It's not just championship rings. It's like rings on a tree too. They're old. The young. The only thing that matters.
Like
the only thing that matters about
look at you.
The only thing that matters about the Warriors' experience to me is the fact that they're old, and the Celtics are young, and they're not equally, but they're also battle tested. If anything,
what is it? Every 5 years is a ring or something like that. What is
it? I'm putting it. I honestly think the Celtics could wear these dudes out. I really do. You're talking about Clay, and I know he's come back off of the multiple injuries, but again, they're not ancient. But 32, Draymond 32, Steph 34. This is where Jason Tatum being only 19 is great. Run these dudes into the freaking ground, man. Make life absolutely miserable for them. Test them. Here's where you have some advantages. I know they've got young.
That's a little much, John.
You've got some advantages, okay?
You're acting like this is just a team coming off the street. And these
you're
guys
younger. You're younger. You're more athletic,
athletes.
and you're bigger and you're stronger. Use everything you have at your advantage here. Bully these guys. Run these guys into the friggin' ground. Make life miserable for them. They haven't faced a defense like this. They're gonna have to work for their stuff.
Sure.
If this is the 2020 Celtics, I would say that, Jimmy. I would be like, I don't know. Experience is way on the other side. But the last couple of years, it's been tough, especially for these 4 guys. Oh, I forgot Marcus too. Marcus, man, talk about what he has to go through. The entire season, whether it was him being questioned if he could be the point guard, if he should be traded, if the Celtics should have went another route before the season even started to get him off the team. I just think these guys have been through a lot.
So everything you guys say is fair and a lot of truth to it. I think I'm kind of seeing it from both sides. I mean, for one, I'm not saying that the Celtics don't have any experience in big games or they're not quote unquote battle tested. Of course, they've won some really big games with their backs up against the walls in this playoff series. Up until this year, there wasn't a lot of that. And the fact that they haven't been in the NBA Finals, I mean, John, that the vibe is a little bit different, and Josue, too. The vibe is a little bit different for a finals series than it is in any other series. These guys, all eyes are literally on them now, not just across the league, but across the country. You get the 9:00 start. It's a lot of, the limelight. You're out in California.
Were you with us yet in 2010, Jimmy? At NBC?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
2010.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, that's what I thought.
He's not talking about CLNS.
Wait.
Were you with NBC in 2010 for the finals?
2010, I think it was like my first year, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. I was trying to remember. But
I covered. I covered.
You covered the finals. Yeah.
I was there. Yeah, I was there for the whole thing.
Why were you so long? I didn't take you so long to answer that then.
Because, dude, it's so long ago now.
So long ago, but yeah,
right. How many finals have you guys covered? Jeez Louise.
I know.
81 is my most memorable. Just
well, no, you guys have more Super Bowls than anything.
I got way more Super Bowls, but this is my 3rd NBA Finals I'll be covering in person, which is pretty cool.
I'm actually pissed that I couldn't get a press pass for this one, but that's a topic for that's a story for another day. Anyways, I just think that I'm going to be interested to see how the Celtics come out again. And the one knock not the knock, but the one criticism I've had that I think could come back to bite them is they can't afford to sleepwalk at any point in this series because the Warriors will make them pay. And when I talk about experience, it's not so much that the Celtics have no experience. It's also that, and John's trying to flip it and twist it into a bad thing. The Warriors have just a ton of experience in these games. In these
not
situations.
a bad thing.
No,
I don't mean.
You're saying that they're old now, and that
all I'm saying is I don't think the. Maybe I'm wrong.
This is the biggest game of every single player in the Celtics.
No. I know what John's doing. John's doing this. John's getting out in front of it because he doesn't want to go back to if they lose a certain game in this series, he doesn't want it to be like, oh well, they're just not experienced, John.
That's what I mean. I just don't want to hear the Celtics aren't. You don't want to hear that cop out. No one is as experienced as.
I think no one is. I really do.
No one is as experienced as a 4-time champ, guys who've been to the championship game.
Right.
Nobody. Every team they play is going to be up against that experience. That's not going to be the reason those teams lose. They're just going to lose because they lose. Like the Celtics, more so than almost any team you could put up there, has big game experience with their best players. A lot of it. Even Giannis, who made the finals last year, like the Celtics players have, they don't have finals experience, but they have a lot of big game experience. I just don't think that there's.
They have big game experience because of the way that they screwed things up.
Agree, but they still do. Yeah,
right.
Yes, they still do. And to their credit, they've won those games and they've showed up. They've showed up when they needed to. Yeah. And I'm just saying, you might not get yourself to a game 7 if you put in some of those quarters and performances that you did in a couple of those series with the Bucks and with the Heat. You played against teams that were a lot more offensively challenged, and you can get away with going into those. You can get away with offensive lulls because your defense was good enough to keep the opposing team at bay. Now, the Warriors' offense is, I think we can all agree, a little bit more fine-tuned than the last couple of teams that they've played. So, and again, I'm not saying the Celtics defense can't match up to them, but they can only do so much. If you're not going to get things going offensively, if you're going to go into spells for a half where you just look lethargic and you're turning the ball over and you're just playing ugly basketball, the Warriors are, and this is where I'm talking about the experience and the sort of killer mentality, they've been there, done that. They'll just stick their foot on your throat and suffocate you at that point. So that's where I'm talking about the experience factor, I guess.
Well, when this topic came up on the conversation today, I was my only concern is this will come up for game one.
Camera, man.
Yes, people commented on it, man.
Dude, it happens all the freaking time.
The lights, the pressure, the crowd. Obviously, those fans have been waiting for a finals game. So they can't wait for this to happen. So maybe that happens in game one. Maybe the moment is just that they're not able to focus enough to pull out a win, and maybe they get blown out. Who knows? Maybe that does happen. I could see that. Maybe not a blowout, but I can see the Celtics losing game one, just because of the lack of experience. So maybe that plays a part, but I don't think that stretches throughout the entire way. For the seven games or best of 7 series. I don't think that's the case. I think the Celtics. I think they've reached a certain point where we can't give them that excuse. Maybe game one, but after that they have to dial in. They have to find a way to stay loose out there, and I think they will.
Okay.
Facts, dog.
I kind of like the little silhouette you got going. There you go, Jimmy. I think that's your look right there.
I love how when people see me drink something, they think I'm drinking. I drink so little.
Oh yeah, you just
water, dog. I never drink anymore.
I just feel like it would fit
me neither.
Photo. That's why people want you to be like the drinking.
People want to assume it's drunk, John. Yeah,
yeah. Like
no, I'm so like
the buzz just kicked in, so he's really mad now.
I wish it weren't the case, but I'm so sober. It's almost depressing.
Was a cartoon. If this was a cartoon, you'd be drinking. You'd have a drink in that. Or it would be implied. It wouldn't be.
I did it only to join Jimmy because I honestly felt like I had to get somewhere closer to his level for the last show.
There you go.
And we celebrate a little bit. We celebrate.
Guys, it's a Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend. Like I don't want to see.
Does anybody think I drank this much vodka in the first 30 minutes of the show, guys? Come on.
I don't want to see an alcoholic beverage for at least
24 to 48
hours. Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's gonna fly by. Oh man, yes. Thursday, huh?
Yeah.
I got a bachelor party this weekend. Somehow the games are sandwiched between it. So thank God for that.
I'm also too tan. That's my problem.
That's a great weekend. Yeah. Why are you so tan, John?
It's just this is how I get. Dude. I step outside. I tan in my car. Like just with the sun coming through it. 2 days into spring, and I'm friggin' already this. That's just how it gets.
Yeah, you're making me
just
look,
like
it's. I don't mean it. I'm not trying to.
If you leave your arm out the window for too long,
this is literally just me like walking my kids to school. Like that's it. Done. Boom. Anyway.
Well, you also douse yourself in oil on the way out.
Yeah. I like it nice and crispy.
Yeah.
What?
Like the kids.
Is that true?
No.
He's like maybe a little.
Just lathering Crisco. People can mistake that as like it's like Bobby's friggin' cream cheese.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
John,
Bobby would just boil.
You keep this tan up. You're about to have like Latino coming up to you speaking Spanish, man. They're gonna start asking you for drinks.
I get South American a lot too.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I get that. People ask me if I'm from like
Peru,
Argentina or Brazil all the time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All the time. But anyway, basketball is happening. What else do we want to talk about here? Because it's pretty open-ended. There's no news right now. You've got a little bit of mutual admiration society sort of stuff going on. There's no bad blood yet, which is kind of boring. There will be because
there will be.
There will be.
Well,
Draymond speaks.
You had the Warriors owner.
Speaks.
But you know what? I didn't like how Draymond's been lulling Jason Tatum into a false sense of security by telling him he's pretty all season.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're the best. It's your time, dog. You're awesome. Tatum's. I don't want Tatum to walk out there and be like, "This is my guy. I've been on his podcast 4 times," and just bap. That's
what Draymond's slow playing.
He absolutely knows what he's doing.
Those gray hairs in his chin, man. Now he's experienced.
He predicted the Celtics to win.
Head games.
He's.
You know what I'm excited for though? We need to hype this up more, and hopefully they have some. Hopefully there's some furniture moving going on because of again. Well, we talked about this in the chat or whatever. A few months ago, when Steph Curry went down, how mad was Steve Kerr? Oh, Marcus Smart, that wasn't a basketball play. He got so upset about that.
Reckless.
Give me a Marcus.
It was reckless.
Rivalry.
It really wasn't reckless.
It wasn't reckless. It was
a straight up basketball play. See ball, get ball. My God.
Exactly. Like, it's a loose ball. Relax,
it's a loose ball. I'm going to hit the ground. Oh.
Right. Wait, this is your bad ankle, right? Let me get your ankle this way so I can. Yeah.
It's not Peyton Pritchard trying to twist people's legs, like.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for the finals. Yeah, come on. He's the defensive player of the year going up against Steph. Steph is the shimmy and all that dancing he likes to do when his shots falling. That's not going to bode well for him. That's not going to sit well with Marcus. Marcus does not want to see any of that.
Do you know how Curry would have not gotten hurt if he also hit the ground? But he's too pretty, Yeah. He likes to kind of keep his balance. So Marcus goes down. He stood up and he tried to play it cool, and he got hurt. He's
the outlet guy. Yeah. I can't stand that guy. The guy who never died for loose ball, but he's waiting there like, hey, I got you, man. I got you. It's like, no, man. Yeah. Come get dirty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm getting your elbows in the face down here, bro. Like,
no, man. Put your nose in there.
Yeah, right.
He's like making faces like, come on, man. Come on, get him. I'm like,
yeah, Warriors don't want it enough. That's what it comes down to. They just don't want it
enough. Waiting for the ball to squirt out. That's actually how I played soccer. Yeah, that's how I played soccer. I would just wait for people to. I'm like,
and the ball just starts rolling out.
Boom! Just shoot it. You guys get it.
Yo, that's Steph.
But there's no bad blood yet. I do, like I said, a lot of the mutual admiration society stuff. I hope the Celtics don't get complacent, and don't they're not your friends, the Celtics have to play, and we talked a little about space, and I thought somebody brought it up. I think it's worth bringing up again. Play bully ball. You are bigger, you are more physical, you're more athletic. Be that. Go out there and assert your physical will on them. Make them play. Make the refs blow the whistle. Get out there. Get into Draymond's head. Don't let him get into yours. Don't play soft. Don't play slow. Don't be comfortable. Go out there and just be assholes. You got to go in there with this. Don't wait till they agitate you and then start playing with snarl. Go out there and play with some friggin' snarl. That's what I want to see there. I want to see them really take the fight to them.
Absolutely, definitely, and that's gonna be the message you send in game one. You have to do it right away, otherwise it doesn't work. Right,
and you're doing that with defensively. I want they have to set the tone. Offensively, we've seen them struggle in the half court. Again, I thought Game 7 was a miserable game for that, and thank God for their defense and their transition. But beyond that, that was a tough offensive game. But your defense can set the tone here. That's what's going to get the Warriors all frazzled here. If they have to work really hard, if they have to just jack contested shots all game long, if they don't have the spacing with Draymond on the court to do what they want to do, with Draymond and Looney, have fun with that lineup. You make it really hard on their shooters, make other guys beat you, get physical with those guys.
Get physical, get under Draymond's skin a little bit. I mean, you're able to get under his skin. He's shown that before. Get him a little emotional off his game a bit. Maybe pick up a tech or two and and
with that
it'll be the mental. Who's gonna have the mental advantage? That's a huge part of the game.
Yeah. With that being said, do you guys think we see some Tice?
So here's Bobby's here's Bobby's burner into the chat here.
Wow. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I guess it would depend on Rob a little, right?
I think
Yeah, he read my mind. Shout out to Eric.
I think the goal is to never play Tice, and if you do,
come on, this could be a good 9-minute Tice series. No,
what is it you guys want? It's this isn't Make a Wish. Why does everyone want Tice to play?
I don't get it either. I really don't get it either.
He wants to play, Joe. He likes playing. Look, he was.
Why stop there? Guy. Just toss Cornette in too. While you're at it. Everyone gets a minute.
He's your Rob insurance.
If Tice plays,
unable to go, you want to use Tice for a little bit.
If Tice plays, everything bad has already happened. That's what.
It's like the smash the glass.
Yeah,
option,
exactly.
If Tice is in there,
if Tice or Nesmith play, bad things have happened to you.
Or really, really good things. Sometimes you get the Nesmith after a big lead, but
you're Ojale him. Messed up. When Ojale came in, you knew things are bad. Like there's no defense being played. Ojale comes out.
Oh, Semi.
Ojale.
God. Oh.
Those days, huh? We've come a long way,
rough.
guys.
Those were rough days.
Yeah,
what do we want to tell you guys about? We want to do, well, we do want to tell you one of our sponsors will be sponsoring this week. This first week of the NBA Finals is going to be brought to you by Calm, which is pretty good because we can all use it. And I actually am pretty calm right now because I like the clean slate, right? You know, there's nothing better than that. Like everything is stressful when you're in the middle of a series because it's so critical and you know that the whole series can turn on one thing and, you know, you're jacked up over what you just saw and, you know, you're worried it's going to carry over. And here it's a clean slate. You get to see, you get to come down. So we're all calm here. And we want to tell you about Calm, #1 sleep and meditation app, wellness app out there. Calm.com/garden. If you go there now, you'll receive 40% off a Calm premium subscription. Again, great way to get your mind and your body right. Terrific sleep aid, whether it's sleep stories or rainforest sounds or all sorts of types of music. Really good stuff there. We actually do all subscribe to Calm and we all really dig it. Jimmy uses it every night. I know Sherrod is a big user as well. That didn't sound great. But anyway,
he's a user and abuser.
Sherrod loves his Calm. And we all do too. And actually quite a few of you guys have actually reached out to us who have subscribed and who dig it. We have testimonials from our own Garden Report viewers. So go check it out. It's pretty cool.
It's a good deal. Honestly,
it's a really good deal. Yeah.
And I think everyone will like it. It won't be something that you use and regret, but at worst case, if you say, you know what, I'm actually pretty calm right now. I'm going to take a break. You can unsubscribe from it. It's not like you're, you know, locked in for this, you know, crazy long period of time.
Yeah.
You can come back to it at a different point.
We're in this together, guys. It's kind of part of our training at this point. It's kind of part of the regimen. You know how like you got OTAs, you know, and like, you know, these aren't voluntary. We all have to kind of go through this together. We all need to be calm. And this is a good opportunity to go out and get some because, again, the schedule is spread out here. That's the one thing that's both good and bad. Good for a team that's a little banged up that could use a little bit of help here. But it's a long journey. You know, if this finals goes 7 games, you're talking a couple of weeks here of like 2.5, 3 weeks. You know, this thing goes and goes and goes, which means you're going to listen to us and we're going to be jacked up and we're all going to
be low. We're going to be
all over the place.
So Joe Swade's definitely going to be high.
Yep. Check out Calm.
Hey.
Check out
you got the Insta shirt on. He's got the Insta shirt on.
No free advertising. Calm.com/garden. Receive 40% off a premium subscription.
We shout them out without shouting them out, right?
Check it out, guys, as soon as you can, please. Thank you so much. We're going to talk for a little bit more. We will wrap it up because we do plan to do shows regularly throughout the playoffs. Josue, you going out there, buddy?
I am.
Yeah.
What you? Yeah, I better be.
I thought so. I'm just making sure because Bobby left, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why'd you leave Josue?" But
freaking Bobby over here, man, gotta be all extra.
Bobby's out in San Fran. Josue and Sherrod, I believe, both leave tomorrow. So we are fully loaded for game 1 coverage, which is coming up in a couple of days.
Jimmy, that's funny you mentioned it, man. I need to do some laundry. That's exactly what's going on. I need a pack.
Shopping. Finals attire. You got to look sharp.
You just got to buy it all out there, man. You got to get that Cali swag. You know, do me a favor. Can you go shopping with Bobby?
Rocking the sponsor shirts.
Can you go shopping with Bobby?
I should, right? But you know what? I don't want to switch up his style though. I want if that was my aim, Bobby. Can you imagine finals, Bobby? I want to see what this.
I'm interested. I'm very interested to see what he comes out with. He's all over.
It'll be fun.
There.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, you guys need to do some maybe some more of that man in the street stuff that you were doing.
For sure. For sure. I want to see what that pit's all about. You know, they got that outside that arena. They got a pretty ruckus crowd out there always.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what's going on. And
of course, be careful in Oakland, man. Oakland ain't Milwaukee.
No, they're not in Oakland anymore. They're in San Fran now.
They're in San Fran.
I know, but that's just saying. You know, be careful.
Yeah.
It's not far.
All the Celtics fans in Cali, I'm sure, are gonna show up. So they'll pull up and give us some good. Like they always do.
There's I feel like San Fran's got some Celtics. There might even be a Boston bar out there, unless I made that up. But either way,
there is Jimmy. The last time I was out there was what 2019 maybe.
And that's where you need to go.
And I literally just stumbled into this bar and nothing but Boston stuff. And then someone told me that they watched the Pats game every Sunday
There
at
you
that
go.
bar. So yeah,
It'll be bumping. We might have to. You know what? We have to do a live show from there, John. I have to get
oh
Bobby
man,
and
we're gonna
Joe
get some
Sway.
fun. We're gonna get some fun content out for sure, man. We might go live a couple times. We might man on the street stuff. And who knows? Who knows who we'll bump into? We'll grab them for 5-6 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be some,
We'll be aggressive.
It's the NBA final. There's gonna be a lot of the who's who of the NBA world is gonna be out there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I want you guys to get Stephen A.
to
do. I want Stephen A. to do a Garden Report promo. That's all I ask.
Oh, please,
That
please let that happen.
Did you guys see Max interrupt his report after the game?
That was pretty good. Max is allowed to do that.
He's like a
But if
kid.
I
How
do
about
that, I
them
get
damn
kicked out.
Celtics?
Yeah.
Sherrod would be like, I mean, if anybody else was doing that, they would be like, all right, man, settle down. But
yeah, right.
if it's Max, like literally, Stephen A. does like a double take. We're just like, I can't yell at this guy. Like it's Cedric Maxwell.
Yeah.
He's a retired Celtic. He's a legend. All right. It's okay, cornbread. All right, cornbread.
Mm.
All right, we'll let it go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll let it go. So yeah, like I said, we'll be doing these, but we'll have a major San Francisco presence out there tomorrow, which is very cool. There'll be a media day. So we're going to hear from all of the players. It's going to be very cool. Like tomorrow's kind of the official start to this thing. Where they really start to rip it and you're going to start to feel that vibe because you're going to see it. Like, what did the Celtics do today? Friggin' Zoom interviews. You know, like that doesn't feel like the finals. But like starting tomorrow, boom, it's out there. And this isn't quite Super Bowl level of hype in terms of the media involvement. It's a little bit more mellow. But tomorrow's, like I said, a big day. All of the players are out there, doing their regular availabilities, and it's going to be friggin' packed. Game 1, great scene out there. So it's going to be pretty cool. And then bang, off and running Thursday, game 1. Obviously, we're going to be here having a post-game show, from there. So look for tomorrow for notifications, both for a live show and potentially a Twitter Spaces. We might jump on and have a chat with you guys as well.
I kept forgetting what the heck that thing's called. I'm like, the conversations from earlier. Twitter Spaces, yes.
Yeah, you're on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, so that stuff was good. Also, we'll let you guys know if you want to keep the conversation going when we're not here, head over to our Discord server, clnsmedia.com/Discord. People have been in there all day. I mean, honestly,
pretty. Get in there. I haven't been in there.
I was jumping in. I had a few conversations with people today. It's pretty cool. It's pretty active.
Yeah, Discord's fun.
Pretty much since the finals. I love the vibe in there. It really is a good community. Everybody's really respectful of one another, and it's just good chat. People throwing out different things and links and memes and fun stuff, and it's always good to pop in there and just see what kind of the chatter is about. So I'm probably going to hop in a little bit after the show if you guys want to chat with me and see what's on your mind. Yeah. But I got nothing else, guys.
Yeah, we got Dirk in the. I see Dirk in the chat. He's a big Discord guy.
Dirk's awesome. Dirk and I got a little side project going on too. We'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice tease. I know Dirk is pumped right now. You just said that.
Yeah.
He's pumped. All right.
Little side project.
Stay tuned, huh?
Little side project. Little side hustle. Yeah.
Okay. We'll tell you guys all about it. But yeah, again,
I'll jump in there.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for hanging out. We just put the link up here as well. A couple Warrior fans jumping in here. I like that. Tell your friends. We love Warriors Twitter. We love Warriors fans. It's one of the best fan bases out there. I think we talked about this earlier. Celtics Warriors might be the two best fan bases in basketball right now.
Great fan bases. And I got to say this.
Yes.
We got some late-ass games for the NBA Finals. We need Celtics fans to stay up late with us because the Warriors are going to have themselves a 3-hour, they're 3 hours early, so it's not going to be that difficult. They might be, what I'm saying is they might raid our chat. We need Celtics fans to come out strong, support their team, support the show on Thursday night. It's going to be a late one. We're probably going to be going live around 11:45.
Yeah,
probably.
right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This is
late one. Way past John's bedtime. Although he doesn't sleep. You don't sleep,
I don't sleep, man. With 3 kids, I'm sleeping 4 hours a night, so it really doesn't matter. But anyway, Discord family, head over there if you want to hang out. Tell people about it. We like to grow the community. Only tell people you like, though. We don't like, there's, we're selective. We don't want everybody in there. It's not all about numbers. We want people who will kind of.
We want smart people.
People who get the vibe, Yeah.
You gotta be smart.
People who will fit in. There you go.
Exactly. People who get it. In life, I put people in 2 categories only: the get it, don't get it. That's
Which one am
basically
I
it. Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, we got to go.
Yeah, don't answer that, actually.
Gotta go. That was literally my hiring practices too. And I think I told that to someone at HR, and they're like, that's not good enough criteria. And I was like, well, that's
John's
how
like,
I do it.
the company burned very quickly. It went down in flames.
It went down in flames. Pretty bad.
Didn't get it, actually.
Pretty bad. We didn't. No, none of us got it.
Turns out John doesn't have it. So it's difficult.
I also did not have it. Yeah. Anyway, and last time we'll tell you about this. One more time, check out calm.com/garden, 40% off premium subscription. #1 sleep meditation wellness app out there. We need it now. Let's all get ourselves some Calm. So go check that out. Guys, we're gonna wrap it. And Josue, safe travels. Jimmy,
Josue.
You and I holding it down back in Boston.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Holding it down, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do something else. We'll have some San Francisco representation. And once again, Sherrod Blakely, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary, you two.
Is it
Take care.
Birds.
Silver